I appreciate it. And we showed up the other day at the main offices, and we were there. And
yeah, I think that came on the day after or something.
I feel bad that I didn't know at that time I was positive.
Yeah.
Well, I may have not tested positive. Now I just gotta call.
Yeah.
And tired.
Yeah.
I'm not even, well, didn't know if you were either.
So when Robert used to sign my birthday card, you could get legal because now.
So
No,
it's
it's
signature.
his signature.
Oh, those things. But
Kathy will be heading out.
Okay. No. Thanks for coming.
During our prayer.
Thank you. I'm going to leave a lot for hanging in here.
You take care of your soul.
All the sticklers for detail. That's a very good compliment to each other. Yeah. But, Robert was our, leader.
Kathy, also know that for you. You know that.
Yeah.
You're a woman of faith.
Oh, I know.
Not the way you're used to.
My sister.
I've lost too many people to know that's true.
Yeah.
Lincoln's initials and Rex's initials and most
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. Next time we'll get that. Oh,
What I was gonna do is, do food,
they would do all.
I do. Then do.
River, I did not.
So, I just did it all.
Well,
Jennifer, nice news to
I just
Harris.
actually went to
Thanks for coming.
And Mama, and very helpful. Oh my gosh.
And Rachel. Me and her had the same birthday.
Same day.
Yeah. 9 years ago. Your daughter and son.
Now is he at Is he a preacher? Is he a preacher? Is he a preacher?
No, but he is a computer administrator at
Roger.
one of the Catholic schools.
Elder.
Elder.
Oh, okay.
Elder, that's right.
Yeah.
I know there's some tumor at the third testament. I've been assured though by the undertaker, Robert Mann, I'll get around here. Not being treated choice. I've been ordered to stay on Kathy.
Yeah.
I know I'm getting a little closer than 6 foot, and I'm sorry about that. But you have a mask, we have a mask, and I'm not touching you. Not touching you.
I believe it's in God's hand.
Remember the little kids doing that? Take hold.
In the car on the way home from Corrales, Robert was sitting beside me because I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him. Thank you.
You're fine.
I must not like stay up
Thankful for the past 4 or 5 years. 3 more skyway, 2 more to come there. Great gathering. So.
Robert always had any packages delivered to work. He brought it. He said it came with there.
Well, it appears like the IMAC was a fence. Due to catching.
Yeah.
Maintenance, requested to get them back. Chances are. With us being a year, close to 2 years into this, we've done the required steps as far as isolation. Asking is commanded.
Speaking of isolation, you can.
Yeah, we'll have to get rid of Kathy.
Yeah.
But if you got,
Likewise.
buddy, what's going in, he said, you might want to go outside. You want me?
And she had, there's not where she has to have.
Did.
I'm just gonna take all that stuff out. I'm good.
Here, I'll give you a hand with some of
No, I'm good. I can't handle that shield, that's right.
Yeah.
And she said, I told her, I said, we'll be up there. And
Yeah.
she said, we'll see you after you get working.
Yeah, I don't work there anymore, but I'm rather, yeah.
R2D to you, at time that's been on my request.
That's nice, yeah.
Living arms accomplishment.
Right.
Just having on the patents on it, at least that's why I recognize his career. My name is Paul.
I'm Roberts and you were part of it. Were part of the game. I've seen pictures. I thought I kind of recognized you.
And she's still.
Oh, big person. He ever tried to come to our house, tried to scoop her up and take him home. And this is his older brother. This is Jason.
We should really better survey.
Yeah. Did, was, was he looking?
Joe?
Joe, he was here. I don't know if they were outside, but since his mom tested positive, so Dad is not here. When they go back later this week, they have to freeze the whole airport.
I was gonna say, it might be good to set up right here.
It may. Trying to get a shot with him.
Sure.
In around comments, out of respect for everybody. Appreciate those. I did talk to senior today, no senior, Mr. Robinson. And I told him I was set concerned with this policy on Robert's flu vaccine shots. And he was doing fine until he's been taking flu shots for the past 20 years. Stopped. So they got a hold of a bad batch, laced with whatever it was. Only Dr. Fauci knows. That's my house. I'm not trying to preach this one. There's a lot of crap the government does that they keep it covered. You're too stupid to understand why.
I'm very sorry about Robert. That's not premature.
48 years old. My dad died on his way to work when I was 52. Robert was his neighbor's name. He died on January 20th. Sorry, but this is the annual, whatever you want to call it, year out in video. I have to limit that to this. Very seldom do I take any medication. Although I take about 12 pills a day for multiple problems. But I think that I'm safe. I know Robert, I asked if he was correct. Robert was embalmed the very evening when he passed. So there's no cover possibility through him. I'm going to mention that this is my second cousin, ain't we, Greg? You and
Oh,
I?
no, actually, it's Steve.
Yeah.
I was second cousin of Robert. So how's that work? Is your first cousin once removed or something?
I don't know.
I always
That's
get
so
it wrong.
confusing.
If my wife was here, she could straighten it out.
Well, I just can't, all I know is he's probably the most wonderful, I can't use the word preacher,
Very kind.
but he's come through for us in this time of need and has been a mainstay. And so far, there's not enough to speak about, okay, Greg?
We're picking you up already?
Oh, okay. But I just think it's only fair to say for everybody who's out there that Robert took his flu vaccine from where he worked at Kyde on September the 24th. And on 2 days later, it was on the 26th, we went to a baby shower down at Valerie's, his cousin. And Robert did not go there, but I was advised that to avoid this year's flu shot. It's spiked, it's dirty, it's Fauci controlled. And if you want to put me on saying bad things about the gentleman, I don't care.
I hear you say that you worked with
But
Roger. I did.
he got seriously sick once he took the flu shot, and he was downhill.
I'm not a kayaking mom.
And last time we went to Skyline, where we went every 2 weeks, lengthy, they tolerated us being there and discussing family matters, was on October 1st. that actually boils down to the last time I saw him alive.
Wow.
And Kathy and I, when he tested positive for COVID, that the damage was done, but I'd ordered him some test kits, the ones from the library. And he went to a little clinic to be tested and tested positive. But again, he's been downhill ever since then. Then come, again, October 14th. If I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
But on October 14th, we knew that he was on his downward trend, and he died 4 days later. Cassie and I had gone over there to take some test kits for him because he'd already tested positive.
Right.
Too little, too late. But I'm sorry of the sequence of events. I'm so proud of him. And if one looks over here at what I want to call the R2D2 unit from where he worked, Robert designed about every piece of this machine over the past number of, I don't know, years or whatever. It's battery powered, 36 volts. But I can flip it. He got the idea for the design from, they took the battery out because it's very confidential, but the battery goes down in there, we learned. And again, this is a cleaning monster. I call R2D2. The company does, in kindness, but this was his pride and joy. He and several other of his associates there at Kyde have a number of patents that have his name on. He was the Kyde patent applier doing all the paperwork. They're going to miss him like blazes, believe me. I thought that Kyde told me they could bring the little plaques they have on the wall down, but this here, I think, explains a whole lot of Robert's accomplishments. I was so proud of him. And every time we went to Skyline to talk, he would talk about individual pieces of this. He got his creativity from his old man, evidently. Started him on computers in '79,
Wow.
Atari was. And then I obtained some units from work to tie into work from. I worked at Meat Corporation in Dayton. And I had again, this is going back to the mid-'80s. And I requested a terminal at the house there in Hamilton, so I wouldn't have to run in after trekking up to Dayton, which is over 50 miles distance, to correct the problems until the system was back up. I'm not a genius, but I know Robert took up his originality and creativity
Beautiful.
from not just me, but from his wife Kathy, and his brother Joe, of course. He was a toy designer at Lego
Oh, really?
in Denmark that he and his wife are in just for 3 or 4 days here. They don't want to get anywhere near me because the urgent care center where Kathy tested positive told me to quarantine myself from her. We've been together 51 years. I told them, well, I still sleep with her. They didn't like that. I raised hell all the way out the door at the medical lack of care. All they're doing is preparing people to die. This horrible things that came in from China. I've been overseas. A number of Westpac tours with USS Kitty Hawk, and know what these dirty commies have done over the years. And of course, they're no friends. I'm requesting that everybody not purchase Chinese. Let them pay a little bit more. Keep your neighbors and friends in their jobs.
Yes.
I think that if I'm speaking against anybody's grain, so be it. That we all agree to disagree. Okay.
It's America, right? The freedom to choose, the freedom to agree, the freedom to disagree. Amen.
Right, and with the situation in today's world, that if I tested the last 3 days negative on COVID, although Kathy tested positive twice. And we got some more test kits today from Joe. We're going to be testing those before we come out tomorrow. But my nose is so sore from et cetera. And the kits you get from the library, they can take those and send them all to Fauci. Right? The VA is my primary care physician with VA. She don't want nothing to do with me under this situation. Said she could make an arrangement for me to get a COVID test up at the Dayton VA hospital. Hey, you're all heart, lady. Kathy's primary care physician was contacted this morning. They've been busy over the unavailable. It's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 windows. They did finally call back on our way here, and of no help. Medical profession just they haven't adhered to the Hippocratic oath. They sure have adhered to the Hippocratic oath.
Yes, right.
That's my own opinion. If anybody don't like it, we can meet out in the park.
Once again, you're in America. You're entitled to your own opinion.
Yeah, I've been rode hard, put away wet, fought for my country. I was in the Navy when I went in, and I was 17 years old, and went through the ranks on through Memphis, Tennessee, and on ship. But I was the only one that made E5, which is a petty officer second class, about 3 months before I was separated in August of '64. So we're talking about maybe June to August. I had thought about staying in, but my dad was sickly. And the other accomplishment, tonight is about Robert's accomplishments. We love the kid dearly. And my accomplishments, I think that Robert was very proud of, so I can convey those. And it's hard to give a spiel like this, but I belong to every veterans unit there is, including DAV, VFW, American Legion, 40 and 8. What else is there? You name AMVETS is the other one. Life members that helped in with the county 40 and 8 down in Hamilton County, and that's our relationship with St. Peter and Paul Cemetery. Mm-hmm. Robert will be, in looking at the graves, Robert will be buried off in looking at the graves, he will be buried off to the left, and up there on the corner is his younger brother, Richie, who was buried. Now, Kathy and I had plans on using the 2 spots there for she and I. However, due to the emergency, we're assigning those for Robert's use. And I'm going to purchase 4 more graves, not lots. Each lot is 2. Somewhere close as I can get. St. Peter and Paul Cemetery is just outstanding. And we're working with each other. Greg here and Kyle, the Undertaker, super people. They make a bad situation as good as it can be. I'm very thankful for that. I've kind of run out of words to say, but I planned on saying this during the 6:30 to 7 o'clock window somewhere. But since people have not shown up,
You're doing it. You're live.
I want to say that we love and respect all of you. Kathy and I will continue after 51 years of being with each other. I have like 20 some odd diseases from Vietnam, and Agent Purple. Purple is what burned me. It's 3 times the strength of Agent Orange, and also is laced with cyanide. President Kennedy was on board ship, and I met with him, and he says, that's got to be abandoned. No more. That is chemical warfare, biological. So President Kennedy has always been my favorite president, And President Reagan, of course, is one of the greater giants. I think President Trump is along the same caliber. I've never met and talked with President Lincoln. And to go on the Democratic side, probably the best was, again, President Kennedy. And later on after that, none of them are worth the, well, yes. But President FDR, he may have got us into World War II, but he brought the economy up. Oh, okay.
I saw your message. Are you the one that?
I recognize each person their own individuality as far as the masks go.
Barely got a messenger, and I saw that, and I'm like, okay.
Again, I have 20 some odd diseases, type 2 diabetes,
Yeah.
I have stage 3 kidney disease, thyroidism. All these are due to being over in Vietnam, but we were not within the territory that they wanted us to be. So I've gotten no compensation from VA other than a hearing problem, and that was due to being on a flight deck with jets and also.
Now, did they have you wear the hearing protection at that time, or?
We had the equivalent of Mickey Mouse ears, was it. They have much better protection now available. But no, we were the guinea pigs, both in what they expected of us. I'm so proud of one moment when I was on the Kitty Hawk. We went up dead reckoning under President Kennedy's order up into the northern sea of Japan. And this, I believe, was somewhere around January of both 63 and 64. It was called Operation Picture Window. And on Valerie, love you. Yeah, I tested negative again today. So, you know, this is my favorite little niece.
I know her from Facebook.
I know you. Yeah, Greg Conrad.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again.
Me too.
I'm so sorry to hear about Kim testing. You mind my
Yeah,
son?
I've been around her, so I'm kind of trying to stay around. I'm trying to stay away. Luckily, she's feeling okay, but she's
Being
ready
8
to
months
deliver
pregnant.
every day. Yeah, I thought she was going to go over the weekend. And then, doggone it, I was there with her Saturday, and she called me yesterday and goes, Mom, guess what? I just tested positive. I'm like, are you kidding me?
As far as I'm concerned, we tried to get the library test kits available. They limit you to 2. But Casey and I picked up 2 for us and then 2 for Robert, but it was too late. And I'm using them now. But those are the worst things even Satan designed stuff in the library.
You know what? I wouldn't even put I would take a Q-tip. I wouldn't put that swab up my nose. It's supposed to have polyethylene. It has cancer-causing agent on it. So, like when I did a home test last time, I used my own Q-tip. I won't use what is in their kit because they're just trying to poison us.
Well, that's my line of thought. They can't do it to me because I have been exposed to so much overseas. In Japan, I spent about a week in a Tijuana jail as a resident at La Mesa State Pen. We were not allowed to drink when I was in. So I went to Tijuana the weekend before I come home. Had problems, got thrown in. They kept doubling my bail each day. And Mom's finally said
What did you
something.
do to wind up in the pen?
I hadn't paid my bail.
I'm gonna say you
It was in the Mesa
probably
State
something
Pen.
stubborn.
Well, I wasn't feeling. Plus, I didn't have my glasses. I'm not proud of this, but it happened. But I resided with the Mexicans for. This is going back in October of '63, a month before President Kennedy was assassinated. President Kennedy was on our ship in June of '63. June the 6th, in fact. His birthday is May the 29th. But he was on the ship, and this is when he told us, take that Agent Purple and get rid of it. no longer being on our planes. I had some serious exposure. I won't go into that.
Oh, no, I know, she was just.
But non was a terrible experience with the world, and we're still paying our dues. And the VA is just totally uncognizant. They said unless you were in this particular part of the ocean from 65 on. And I said, well, the stuff drifted from west to east. And it settled on the water, settled on the flight deck. We drank it. We bathed in it. We ate food preps with it. Made our bug juice out of it, which is Kool-Aid. But again, this is not about myself so much. It's about Robert. But Robert enjoyed my going on this time and occasion. And the heart of gold of Robert is a number of times we've been at the VA. But that evening, we would go to the Skyline restaurant. And Robert, if there was a Marine there, for instance, had Marine tattoos, he would pay it forward. He would purchase the dinner.
Beautiful.
Out of gratis, out of the coolness of his heart, or the love of his heart, for the family, the kids. Well, that's the way Robert was, very charitable, very proud of me, and he certainly is going to be missed by this point. Thank you very much. I don't mean to take all the time. Since attendees are not here due to scare, this here little unit again is what Robert designed.
Did he design that?
He designed this. I call it R2, D2. Okay, but it is a janitorial cleaning. Changes are still being made to development and evolution on this.
Cool.
But Robert has a number of patents. Robert was the patent writer for Kyde.
Really?
And they're going to really miss him like blazes.
That. Can't even imagine.
Again, this is a very trying period. I do appreciate my friends and family. We have taken the time out to be here. I only wish it wasn't.
Kimmy wanted to be here. She couldn't come. Katie and Mike wanted to be here, and they're like, Mom, you shouldn't be going. I said, I don't care, I'm going. They were yelling at me all the way up here. I'm like, I'm going. I'm not. I'll just keep my distance. Put my mask on.
One more favor. Would you be able to take this recorder over to the people?
Of course, absolutely.
Robert and his permanent residence.
Oh, we need a tape?
All right, there's some things here you need to tell. You need to tell about some of these things here.
What's that? Okay, that's the hat that Robert wore royally. And sunglasses, he's been having optical problems, sensitivity. So he's always wore shades, not as being cool, but for his own health. In the back there, you might see a little mug. That was Robert's mug from his best friends. That he used to, they usually worked out a lot of good stuff. They lived about 2 miles from where he lived. And he would go there for gaming on Friday and Saturday. But that was his mug. I think it does say Robert on it. Mm-hmm. Next to it is what's called gaming dice. And of course Reese's. I think that is self-explanatory. Kathy just brought out this cross and put it in Robert's hands, because that was given to Robert when he was confirmed, I believe.
My grandma cried, she said.
Yes. And it was Kathy and I had choice, very hard decisions to make on the coffin. The coffin is dark blue, black combination. Robert always liked silver, and you see a lot of silver on it. And I wished he'd helped us choose it, but I think he's happy with it being his wheels to heaven on this earth. We're going to miss the kid. Underneath his pillow, the undertaker, I had bought 3 silver dollars, Morgan dollars, from 1888, 89, and 90. Showed them to him, and I'm not sure how authentic they may be. But he touched them, handled them, They were going to be going to him, so they're staying with him. Okay, that's my sentimental. He's my best little friend. We've stuck through it for thick and thin. Valerie here, her mother was Robert's godmother, and Uncle Ron was Robert's godfather. My youngest brother Ronnie. Now Joe's godparents was in 1980. The two were godmother is Kathy's sister Debbie, and the godfather was Uncle Bill, Bill Kyde, a policeman who subsequently passed. I'm saying this for historical, for whoever. I'm not a genealogist, but I sure love my kids. Hardest day of my life, no doubt about it. Mary and Ken. But I want to just give a little history on Robert and let you all see his images here. Not to be cruel, but people that don't want to see him in death. Well, I buried so many of my friends off of the Kitty Hawk. We lost like 18 pilots and Airedales and 14 planes when I was in it. Seeing them black or silver coffins being picked up by the destroyers and trucked over to us. It's very hard, real hard. It's an experience I would never want to go through again. But it literally has made me immune to death. If death happens, it's our good Lord calling us. As far as we cannot change God's will, I believe in the book of life. Robert certainly was, his pride and joy was Jesus. And Robert evolved, went to CCD classes. He was going to public schools. This is my wife, Kathy. She's positive right now. She just tested positive, what was that, Saturday? Wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't even know what today is, truthfully. Yes, it was Saturday. It was Saturday.
Again, if I haven't said it, I'll say it again. Those test kits you get from the library, unless you're a smartphone user and fanatic, you can take them and, send them to the great Chinese for further development.
Very difficult to use.
At least the ones that you can buy at a store.
Walgreens and CVS.
Yeah, but you still have to connect them to your phone. I just
No,
No? the ones Mike and I, like my son Mike had COVID probably about. It's just been a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah.
it's been longer than that. I guess he had it in August.
That's a shame, but
So
at least
yeah,
he's-
when we did that,
That's what I was just asking.
he had to connect it to his cell. He had to connect it to his cell phone
Yeah.
so they could trace, quote unquote, trace it, track it, or whatever. It's like whatever.
But Valerie and myself and my sister Teresa and some of her
Now are they coming
patriotic
tomorrow,
friends,
Teresa?
very doubtful, both of them. And it's the reason I'm so thankful that my best cousin, second cousin once removed, I don't know. All I know is he is my direct first cousin's son, Greg Conrad. And Bob Conrad is his father. And his father is Mobilecom, developed her. And prior to that, Uncle Chris, who was Bob Conrad's dad. That going back, way back when, that he worked with Crosley for development. He was a radio fixer, designer. And Powell Crosley was one of his very good associates. That again is my mom's oldest brother. So we have we've always been very close. And our 12 and one past kids, that's Uncle Chris.
Are you Uncle Chris's
Grandson.
grandson? Okay. I was trying to remember. I know I've known it before. I was trying to.
The reason I wore this is Navy, a Vietnam cap, which I'm proud of. And it's what Robert and I always saw each other in down the skyline in Route 4 Erie Highway. And they always tolerated us staying in there till they closed. Putting up with us and but that's going back past 5 or 6 years anyway, every other Friday. They see Robert and they would pick out what order he wanted with soft drink. Very good. I love the little guy. I love his brother Richie. And where Richie, again, is buried, I think I already mentioned, is up on the right shoulder. Robert will be in that spot along with Richie. If they can move him over closer, they will. The next spot now was intended for Kathy. But we take and make the best of times with the best of times. And then our mother and my mother, Teresa, and her husband, Robert, who Robert is the one who was named after, are in the next 2 spaces. It's always
I
the
didn't realize
daddy
they were right
first
next to
and
each
then the
other.
mom.
That's cool.
So those 4 spots are family now. And I'm going to purchase, I think, at least 4 more for Cassie and I to use. And if Joe and Katie would care to use them, that's fine. But I want to have a spot as a father. We brought them into this earth. We're going to take them out as best we can. Thank you all for attending. If I've come on cruel the past week or so with phone calls, there has been so much in arrangements and working these things out for Robert's interest. And I've always been just talk on the phone, get a message across, and then I'm going to hang up on you. Sorry about that. No insult intended. That's when we grew up as 6 kids, that we were limited what we could say on the phone.
Mommy's talking about party lines. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
Mommy's
thank
talking
you
about
for
party lines.
listening to me, good folks. And I think that tomorrow, if I get a chance, right now it's a little after 7. I think that tomorrow at noon will be Where the Service Is by Greg Conrad, a truly deep friend who set up this teleview. And I really appreciate all he's done for us. When the chips are down, a lot of people will say, well, if there's anything we can do, let us know. Well, those are only empty words until
Until the
people
chips
come
come to the
through.
floor. Yep, until they hit the floor.
And I'm sorry, that's no insult to anybody. But just all we can do is make the best of the world we got. I don't mean to be a preacher. Robert and I both have kind of fallen away from Catholicism due to the pedophile situation and the bribery that the Archdiocese is doing to have the charges dropped and whatever. Again, this year, avoid that flu shot that is laced.
Yeah, did you ever find out anything else about that?
No, I asked once again his boss down there to get me the batch number.
Yeah, I keep pursuing it.
But so far I haven't gotten it. I was hoping they'd be here tonight along with R2D2,
Yeah.
but they didn't make it. And my apologies if my informality, and I think I've been able to avoid any curse words here. I have a very good Navy vocabulary
You're
established.
entitled to that.
But you name it, we've been through it experience-wise. House fires, Dad passing when he was 52 years old on his way to work. And your birthday is January 27th?
My dad is.
Your dad's
January 27th.
birthday is, okay, Bob Conrad. That's my dad's birthday. No, he was born in January 27th. Robert.
But he died in January too, didn't he? Did
Yeah,
Grandpa die
Dad died
in
in
January, right?
January.
It was the day Sherry's picture was made.
He died January 20th.
The only picture my mom ever showed of Sherry. I actually have a copy of it sitting on my mantle at home.
But
The day
birthdays,
that picture was made of Sherry.
Robert's birthday again was May the 10th of 73, and his grandfather is my dad. So Dad's father, his birthday was also May the 10th of 1895. Okay, we found his grave up at Rest Haven. But I think Robert and the kids have been very comfortable throughout the loss of little Richie back in 75. They played it, not played as such, but they were comfortable being there. And I think that Robert's choice and put the rest there is the best we can do. I'll take a breather now then, sir.
Before you take a breather, tell me about Richie. I didn't know Richie.
Okay, little Richie was a very problem pregnancy. That he was what we call a misproportion. And that he died and they diagnosed as insufficient placenta. And that was on November the 6th of 75. He only weighed about maybe 2.5 pounds. Kathy couldn't handle him. So I did. I helped him. I always loved my kids. But he died over at Fort Hamilton Hospital. And Joe had problems when he was underway, being cooked. That Kathy had similar symptoms, so we put her early in Fort Hamilton Hospital where all 3 kids were born. And Joe, again, we lost his heartbeat when he was underway being delivered. So
I had forgotten about that.
And I told
I had forgotten about that.
whatever it was, the deliverer, so let's get him out of there. And so he was born emergency C-sect. And Robert's famous quote was always, at least, Dad, he's alive. He was so thankful of that. And he and his little brother, who was right out there.
I need to go say hi to him.
Sure. As long as you're wearing a mask, don't get further
No, I
than
won't get too. I won't get too.
context. But is there anything else, Greg, about little Richie?
That answers it, thank you.
But he, again, is buried up. He has a little tombstone, which will be right with Robert. Of course, we haven't picked out tombstone and all that, that is cosmetic. Future issues.
No, I'm talking when I'm eating.
You have time on it? Have I worn out the recorder?
Here, actually, I'll do better than that. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Just voice.
Bob at Heaven Wire. Hello, Bob. Good to see and hear from you. You have a fabulous son. That Greg and I remember back in taxes when we were discussing things about our lovely auditor. And
I need to turn down the video. This is delayed about 4 or 5 seconds.
I'm sorry, but with he's being investigated. This auditor is being investigated right now due to affiliations there and compromises of property in his dad's name. That's not our problem, but still, overall Butler County property taxes went up 20 to 25% this year. And we live in a tri-level front to back built in 1964. But our property valuation of the house went up 60% this past year.
In 1 year.
1 year. And our taxes increased somewhere to tune of close to 40%. Now, this auditor's name, Roger Reynolds, that his property, he owns a $500,000 mansion in Liberty Township. His values and taxes all went down to the tune of 30%. This doesn't seem right. And I hope that I was able to give you any information we shared earlier this year, late last year. Because I bailed out from that due to other governmental issues. My apologies, but it's good talking with you at Heaven Wire. I got to take off my glasses to see and talk. These are my distance specs. So the only way I have clarity of what I'm seeing up close is to remove them.
Nothing to view here.
No. But you say hi to Nancy, take good care of her. And when Kathy was diagnosed on Saturday with COVID after Robert, Kathy was the last one to see Robert alive and arranged for 911 services. But Robert had not been able to pick up some stuff. I can't reconstruct it chronologically, but she was the last one to see him, so it's no wonder that Kathy's got the bug. We're testing dedicatedly. I've tested 3 times in the past 3 days, negative. But I have Agent Purple in my body, it's system from Vietnam. No doubt if someone can be immune, ta-da.
You're hard.
Yeah, I'm an old guy, 78 years old, type 2 diabetes, all the good stuff, including thyroid.
Oh, bad stuff.
All
Not
bad
good
stuff. And the VA is in total denial of all of it. Like I said, the VA is in total denial of it. And
What you've been through might be the secret to not getting COVID. All those chemicals that you put in your body.
well, I'm thinking, and I asked the doctor when I was tested at urgent care, I says that when all is said and done, if I kick the bucket, they should obtain my fluids. That I think there's a fix of immunity built within. I have to feel that way. After 12 shots each way during 3 and 4 cruises over in Vietnam and China, visiting China, Japan, the Philippines, a resident of the Tijuana jail for a while, you name it, I've been exposed. Okay, but thank you very much for letting Greg come through for us today, and I appreciate the extension for tomorrow. And the attire I'm wearing is out of total respect for Robert. I wore
Hey, Paul, it turns out that this interview, Facebook, I have it on big full screen here. It's better than I could get me right next to you.
Well, hey, that's super. This is my wife Kathy over here. And this is Uncle or Cousin Bob.
No face. No face. You look in there, you can see your face.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Doug. Get back a second. Hi, Doug.
Beautiful. I'm all right.
Okay.
Well, this is a very
Hi. I recognize your voice.
Thanks for taking your mask off.
Well, for a few seconds. I mean, you know, since I tested positive, I don't want to expose anybody.
Right.
And I was forewarned by urgent care after she tested positive that I had to isolate from her. So I told them, well, all we do is sleep together. That's not isolation. But that's not going to change after 51 years. A long time. And we had delayed our 51st wedding anniversary on October 10th, just passed, due to Robert's medical condition. And unfortunately, it never happened. But
I just wanted to wish you kids and let you know that we wish we could be there.
well, I don't blame y'all one bit. It's a free choice. It's a free world. Clothing, of course, attire is optional or casual.
Clothing is optional.
Clothing is optional, yes. That's the way they do it in Hollywood. But the face masks, of course, I don't believe in them. I think it's like using a picket fence to keep out the mosquitoes. And other sayings and comparisons. But this is a very traumatic time for us, and I may need assistance and family support. Greg has been just super. And and we became friends a couple years ago. So I really appreciate whatever facilities that you've allowed Greg to use. Mobilecom has been a long time buddy, and I found out instead of being a CEO, I thought he's president. So I respect that, and I apologize. Always have loved the comrades, and over life, I always got hand-me-downs from you, including Boy Scout uniforms, Whizzer motorbikes, if you call that, and a number of other things while you were living down, I think it was Elkwood, and down at Winton Road in Finneytown. So we kind of have grown up over historically speaking. And your family and I, your mom and dad sent me and Bill to Fort Scott, and your mom was a cook there. Spent a couple very enjoyable weeks. And Robert and I talked about it all together because he went to, I think, Life Star in Boy Scouts. He didn't make Eagle. But I'm proud of everything he's ever done. I think that we talked earlier about R2D2, which is
I need you to realize a few minutes, I'm gonna go get
Yeah, did you see that
Joe
earlier
and
when
Katie
he was showing what he calls R2D2, the battery operated?
they come up.
Yeah, I've been watching this video.
Okay, good. Yeah, so he's heard that story already.
I'm sorry.
Pick another one.
well, sorry, but Robert is going to be very well missed. They're at Kyde, which is, he started there back, I'm guessing, 14 years ago as a designer. I saw an ad for somebody being wanted in the Fairfield Echo by Kyde, who had Rhino programming design. Robert had that experience from the other companies he worked with. And he walked out after the interview and headed home. He got a call right under the underpass bridge there in Hamilton. Come back here, we want you. So that began a Kyde marriage. And Kyde, his company, he and Senior, who was the best of friends, he's the CEO president. He's going to really miss Robert's capabilities. Robert is head designer and applicant for the patents that the company has used.
So 2 patents over there.
Oh, you got a couple patents?
Oh, yep, there's the patents over there.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen them.
You haven't seen them yet.
I haven't seen it. So I'll let you go. I don't mean to take all of Greg's steam here, but your son has done so much for us. And hopefully we can keep each other in contact. And like I said,
When everything settles down, it'd be great to get together with you.
well, we mentioned that back when you were down in Florida, and I
Yeah, I
certainly.
know, but I've actually been thinking about it. I feel a little guilty that I didn't follow through like I should.
Well, if you've been watching, you know he's a Skyline fan, so you got to pick the place. So.
Yeah, we need somebody to go to Skyline down on Route 4 in Hamilton. That is our place where they liked us, loved Robert, let us stay there till closing time. And I respect
You
that.
know, I find myself in there on a regular basis.
Well, Skyline is Cincinnati. Well, Kathy has asked for me to evacuate the area. She wants to bring Joe and Katie up.
His girlfriend's coming.
And,
Okay, I'm gonna be watching. Like,
well,
God bless you all and you and your family, okay?
thank you so much, Mr. Conrad, Bob, Cuz, Whizzer motorbike owner, all good.
You're welcome, Mr. Guy.
Mr. Conrad, I'm looking for my dad, who's Robert's namesake. Thanks, Bob, appreciate your help.
Okay,
Thank you.
Catch you later, boss.
I'll be watching.
Okay, catch you later. Bye.
I gotta go evacuate the area for Joe and Katie.
Do you mind if I have some time with Robert? Nobody else? I mean, just, you can stay in the room, I just want to.
I've been guaranteed by the Undertaker that I'm going to take care of any covenant association, okay?
Yeah.
He was involved on his way at very
Each of them have it. Well, the other guy is good. And then he's still tired. So he's 40. And she's there laughing. So her grabs her by the ears, kisses her.
And I can't ignore you.
Oh, you're okay.
Trying to give spiels, and since we are on recording, I'm not used to this. I didn't rehearse. It's been such a tremendous time. And as Kathy's talked to you, she's been acquainted about money and her difficulties. She's right. Too much on your plate. Someone has to do it.
I didn't care, but I knew she could handle it.
Now she sponges under pressure.
Yeah, she does.
As does her mom.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I'm saying negative. Your mom was very strong, Leo.
Yeah.
But when your mom had this is not first.
Yeah.
You can do it like I will see this display. Now, did you do this display?
What, the picture? Yeah, didn't you all know?
You did the job, and thank you for putting it there. So you've got a wonderful chronological sequence.
Well, tell us some about some of these pictures.
Okay, this is Robert as a baby, of course, when he was born May the 10th of 73. This is when Kathy brought him home. You see, she's really pretty. And of course, this is all his baby pictures and growing up. I don't reckon, I think that's his Uncle Denny, Teresa's husband, holding him.
No, that's Kathy,
This,
when she had short hair.
I'm sorry,
That's
I got
okay.
my distance specs on.
That's okay. She didn't even know.
But this is Robert's picture here when he was about 2, I guess, a year and a half. And going on across is kind of his evolution, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd. He had a lazy eye when he was born and was subject to wearing a darked out patch over his good eye to make the lazy eye work. And that cured up, and this is another one at Christmas time. And as we see here, I think this was again his evolution through grade school and high school. And this is, he did get an associate's degree from Miami U. I can't tell the exact years. This is one of his Halloween get up and go scenarios. Of course, that's Robert wearing his protective glasses. And these are his cars that he had for so long. The GMC Safari is ours. And this was an '89 Caravan that he used. And of course, this is at Christmas time when I'm thinking 2019, which was the last period when Joe and Katie were in town. Joe and Katie have been over in Denmark since August of year and a half ago, whatever. So, excuse me for not being able to make the exact dates, but this is about the best I can come up with. And over here, what we're seeing is Robert as a senior designer at Kyde. Kyde is a wonderful company which he loved as a family. This is one of his patents, Robert W. Kyde, right there. And again, I don't know all of the particulars. This, I think, is R2D2, which is the unit on display up there. And this is another cleaning item. And this is he with his stepdaughter, Angie, Christmas time. And what we have here, again, is Robert with little Angie all blacked out. They used to always go to Renaissance Fair up in Butler, Middletown. The Renaissance, that was a regular thing for Robert. Again, Robert I was so proud of, and I've not had a tear yet. I've buried too many friends and family that it makes the old man numb. My apologies if I seem cold. And with the clothing that we're wearing, it's out of due respect for Robert and our times at Skyline Chili in Hamilton, which has photos of Joe's Skyline down by UC, down on, I think it's Ludlow at Clifton, which is very close to where Grandma and Grandpa Conrad raised their family of, 12? And that was the only grandmom I knew, because my dad's mom died at, Dad was only 6 years old. So, never saw her. But that's as good as I can do on what you're seeing here. There's other pictures over there.
Yeah,
These are all prepared by Kathy's.
There's some more down here.
This is okay, those three, of course. This is his older brother, Jason, and his cousin, Danielle, and Robert. And, of course, this here is Jason, Robert, Danielle, and Debbie. And these pictures over here are the same as this, different variety, with Robert, Danielle, and Jason.
You got more.
Was that last Christmas? And what we're seeing up here, I have to take off my glasses to see these. But there's Kathy and I holding Robert as a baby. That had to have been in, I'm going to guess around maybe before June of 1973 is when this would have been taken. There's Kathy holding Robert when he was probably about 1. And that's Kathy's mom. Kathy's mom. And there's Kathy's mom and Robert. Here's Robert with sucking on his pacifier on the right. And I think this is Greg's younger sister. We caught him kissing one time. Out of all due respect. And this is Robert and his brother Joe, of course. And there's a family portrait that we're very proud of. And here he's holding Joe and protecting, because when Joe was born in 1980, after losing his little brother Richie there in November of 75, he was so brokenhearted. And with Joe, he says, well, at least he's alive. Okay?
Yeah.
And here's Robert, of course, happy birthday for helping his little brother. And there Robert is with Grandma and his brother Joe. And this is his grandmom, Wren, down in Dry Ridge, Kentucky. And this is Robert protecting his little brother once again. Here's Joe and Robert. And I recognize this lady. It was a girl I used to go with. This is Joe on the left and Robert on the right. And of course this is Robert, Joe, and Debbie on vacation. There's Robert again. He had to wear shades because of very ultra light sensitivity.
Really?
Okay.
Did he have that all his life, or did that develop later?
That kind of started later on. Again, he had a lazy eye with one eye blacked off. But here's all these pictures here. That's with Kathy's mom and dad and Robert. And there's Robert and little Joe. I'm guessing this is probably in the past 5 years. And there's Robert wearing shades again, like on all the other ones. There's Robert. And I think that's Danielle in the back. And this is Kathy's dad, Henry Skirvin, a railroader. Joe, Robert, Kathy's mom, and Danielle. And this is Robert and Joe. I'm not sure who the lady is. He never confided in me. But that's Robert. This is Robert when Joe began getting taller than him. And this is Danielle, first cousin, and Robert in that picture. And this picture here is Robert and brother Joe. Joe is taller. There's the old man, Joe, when we call him Abe Lincoln, Mom, and Robert, I'm guessing 4 years ago. This is Kathy's family with her dad, Robert, Joe, Debbie's husband, passed, Jeff, and Danielle and Kathy. I had a strained relationship with Kathy's family. I'll be the first to admit it. If they filed for divorce, funded it, that had a strained relationship. That's all I'm going to say. And again, this is Joe and Robert, Joe and Danielle and Kathy. And that's Joe and their best friends on an outing. I can't say for sure I know all the pictures over evolution. This is Robert in a very recent picture. And this is Joe, Jason, Robert, the old man, Katie, Joe's wife, Aunt Debbie, and cousin Danielle, Kathy, and this is little Angela Kearney, who is his stepdaughter. But he loved the little lady thoroughly, even though Kathy or Robert and Jess, his wife, was only married about a year and broke up. But he still had love and devotion with little Angela. Kathy liked her as a, shall we say, as a daughter. Okay. So is there any questions for one?
You're doing great. Appreciate it.
I appreciate everything that Greg's doing, Greg, because we got about a half hour yet.
Okay, you got somebody here.
I don't mean to take away his spiel, but he's a very good coordinator here. And I think this teleprompter, I'm on television. Hey, you're getting an old guy.
I'm Robert, and
I am so upset with the government, the medical people, refusal to help those of them, stick them on a ventilator, and then they kick the bucket. I don't want to display nothing but anxiety and frustration, but I do want to display it.
Understood.
All righty, Greg?
Got one left. I'll do that in a bit, though.
Taking your 40?
Yeah, actually, we'll wait.
oh, I'll meet them. I mean,
Good, did we do okay? Again, so many family members are sensitive to this COVID bug, this Chinese flu, the import from the great Chinese. And once again, I'd like to reiterate, I don't buy nothing Chinese. We own Japanese cars. But Joe liked Subaru, Robert got a Subaru, and we're driving a Subaru. Can't trust the General Motors. I started with Fords, but they also went to the wayside. So Subaru's been good. Expensive, yes, good. I'll turn it back.
Joe, there's one more. There's one more up here that says cousins. If you can help me out on this one.
Sure.
All right, Paul.
Cousins.
Let's see what we can do with cousins.
This again is Robert. Danielle is a baby, and Joe. This is Joe, Robert, and Danielle is a 7-year-old. This is Robert. I believe that's,
They executed him.
I'm not sure. That's probably Danielle and Robert.
It's on Ancestry.
All that and everything.
This here's Ophi, who came to live with us from Mexico for a number of years, and Robert's brother Joe, and little Danielle, and the next one is Robert giving a hug.
They executed him.
Here's Robert, Danielle, and Joe
Crimes
again.
against humanity when he killed 20,000 kids.
Robert, Joe, Katie, Danielle, and Robert. This is Joe, Danielle, and Robert. And this is Joe, Jason, and Danielle, and Robert. Joe's older brother, Jason, was due to a mistake Kathy made back before I ever met her. And we just wish that the kids have got together before now, but Robert and Jason. Jason, would you care to just step over for an interview?
Floor? No, I don't do interviews around.
Well,
I
sorry.
hate being on camera. I hate having my picture.
I was commander of the VFW post and did a lot of burials and a lot of speeches and parades. So I'm not very good, but I'll do what I can.
Because fear feeds, and I will.
My legs are giving out. But if anyone has any comments on something which I should have, could have, maybe done, and they get a hold of me on phone, area code 513-544-9545. No bugging calls. I've heard enough. If there's anything we can do, which is a dry comment, I appreciate it, but there's so much that has to be done. Joe has come through that. Greg, of course, and Kyvac, we're trying to get the flu number vaccine codes to pass that on to probably, my opinion, is it was spiced with Dr. Fauci's poison.
And how are you?
Whatever we find out, we will, of course, confidently post it. Unless it's a medical thing. But I personally, that if I would kick the bucket, I have so much of what's called
I'm his oldest brother.
things that keep a person healthy. My immune codes, that I think there's a cure for COVID underneath this life. I would love to see results go on to
I didn't even know that.
research if they haven't found out the answer to this disease. And as far as Robert's situation, he was not ordered to be autopsied, so we did not do it. To let everybody know, the coroner gave a release to the funeral home here at 90 past after 911 finished. So no, he was not autopsied. He'd been violated enough. And we know that he had that vaccine shot for the flu back on September 24th. It's just too coincidental. With that event and then him having the flu vaccine for 20, 30 years without missing a beat. So whatever I find out, I will share with my friends and family. Give me a chance, the good Lord willing, creeks don't rise. Hank Williams Sr. was my favorite singer. Taking too much time.
I keep waiting on Ancestry to
But
be together.
I appreciate everybody who's viewing this on Facebook or whatever. Feel free to download and make copies of it. We're going to go with thumb drives due to the capacity of CDs and DVDs, and reliability is a real bummer.
Oh my gosh.
You read that?
When they were
Okay,
babies,
well, I am so
You know,
sorry.
when we were little,
They even let them
and when we first.
Yeah, she's very much a
The
patriot.
first time we met.
Okay, but
Now, did you know you were?
yes, when I found out I
yeah,
was.
this is.
Some of these people are my friends too.
When we
Oh, yeah, we
first
got
met,
our
it was like looking at our
including George Lang.
George, which George?
My kids wanted to do.
The senator
They were afraid.
from
They
Ohio.
were like, what if we get somebody, like, they were
Maybe.
afraid, like, if something.
I think I just seen your name associated. But yeah, that Laurie is, she believes that JFK Jr. and others are going to be coming here working with Trump during the next rise. And I would love to see that. President Kennedy, who's on ship, and I stood talking with President Kennedy the same distance as we are here. That was on June the 6th of 1963, which is a commemoration of D-Day. Of course, JFK was a veteran of World War II. He was on the East Coast, or on the West Coast, as was I. But if President Kennedy had told me that there was a ladder at the end of our ship, the Kitty Hawk, to go down and climb it, I'd have done it. No questions asked.
I couldn't walk.
I loved the guy, and again, he was assassinated about a month after I had my Tijuana venture, and we got word of Kennedy being assassinated November 22nd, and we had just crossed the international date line and had gone into, I believe it was Sasebo, Japan, to afford presidential honors, since we were a capital ship. President Kennedy was a great guy, like I said. When President Johnson came in, the whole world turned upside down. And President Johnson and the defense secretary at that time was McNamara. Johnson and McNamara are down in hell right now, holding each other's hands. Ain't no doubt in my mind. I know I'm not supposed to say that.
Well, you know,
It's my feelings. I know what
God is our judge, right? But you're in America. You have right to your opinion.
I went into the Navy. It's more so than, well, I don't have anything against President Trump. However, I'm so upset with President Biden because he and the Dems have made fun of old Bone Spurs Trump. But Joe Biden played football all the way through high school and college and got deferments from going in because of asthma. That cocktail doesn't mix in this mind. If people agree with my opinion or disagree, so be it. And we love everyone who's listening. There's been not an audience out here. I think Robert would appreciate this straightforwardness that we've gone through. He was my buddy, and I'm going to miss him so much. Love you.
That's good. That's good.
Thanks, sir.
All right, my friend.
My legs are giving
So
out.
I looked it up last night, and so my daughter was pregnant. She can see that message. So I gave her. I made her vitamin C and
Oh, it's just a roller coaster in life for all of us. Too much.
my son and the daughter
A couple of years ago, when I had kids, I had to like all the
Well, I got 22 on that. Is that right on your
sorry, sir, you're too fat. Too sorry. And that on top again. So I was like, George.
So I know
was the one having my go.
My youngest, yeah, I have 3 children. My oldest, my kid is 30.
That would do it.
Nope, you don't look old enough to have a 33-year-old. So?
Yeah, 33, Mike is 33, he is 30, 31. She's getting married next year. And he got married last year.
He's like my
She's
dad.
26, so now she's
Machine or something like that.
Yeah, she's not and she is,
My sister, her daughter,
and my oldest, daughter's due November 11th. But she was in the hospital Friday night with pre-labor.
When I signed as a funeral director, he needed some papers.
She's in the ER.
I'll be here.
Now,
around.
do they
That's
think,
my husband.
or does anybody know if the baby is gonna be born with COVID?
No,
or-
I think what'll happen, I told her, I said, really, this is a blessing in
This
disguise
is
because.
Chris.
Sure, be born with the rest of us.
Chris, are you a handshaker?
I'm a handshaker, I'm fine.
You don't have COVID, I do.
So hopefully she can put her in there long enough.
Not too
to
bad.
see
Gina?
Yes. Sounds like they did.
Yeah, because I read like right before I got fired, there was only 38 weeks pregnant. With COVID and her oxygen levels were so high. So they took the baby C-section and the baby went home on that road and then they admitted, cut the mom and put her on the dressing table. I was like, oh my God, please don't kill her, please don't kill her, please don't kill her, please don't kill her. She was in the hospital for like 2.5 to 3 years.
Sit down, sit down. Why don't you swallow me?
Because it's a run down.
I had a coworker caught COVID, I took the
Well, Robert would appreciate you
Generally,
being
that's
here.
it for COVID.
He's had very deep, I'm scared.
survived.
Yeah, but a lot of people do not.
I've been assured it took him so long.
It took him until January. No, February.
He's probably that, he needs to take that toxin out of that, he needs to take that
We've
toxin.
got a long series of doors we've got to
Well,
cross
Robert,
through. We're doing.
she's not like, it's not.
You have anything wrong?
Yeah.
I gotta go. Thank you very
Well,
much.
she was
It's not.
for a while.
He's got a scar like that.
From the ventilator.
They make you, they put them on their belly, everything that they're just not doing.
They're doing it wrong.
They're doing it
Oh, I
Because the government's telling them.
because they get paid to do it wrong. And if they do it right, they don't get paid.
I heard like,
It's
some people that got paid for every day.
Uh-huh, they said, yeah, I'm whistleblower on them. So, my name's out there. So, yeah. I don't know how.
What about the,
Dilling fried. It's Dilling fried.
what about the infusion that they're,
The Regeneron infusion that you get if you're an outpatient, that actually helps. That's that's what they gave President Trump, the monoclonal, monoclonal nuclei or whatever they are, antibodies. Those help, the Regeneron, but it's the remdesivir that they're giving us.
You want to know something about that? Remember when Kamala Harris got her shot? Have you ever watched the video of that?
It's like Kamala Harris.
There's nothing in it.
No, no.
And they never even, the
I was hoping,
plunger is
I
not
was
even
hoping it
full.
was gonna go down, I was hoping it was gonna go down like this. I was hoping that when they gave guided his booster, that it would come out he died, and would come out with the exact thing really is. But, no.
No, they're trying to.
Something's good. And it's
Pretty fine, how are they?
Good. Is that all good?
I've never been back.
We're losing 90% of our shop. So, but they're gonna, I probably believe that
I didn't visit Robert.
but I think they're gonna take out a lot of the top. You mentioned the conference and everything. You're right, our birth certificates and service, and all that income taxes that we've ever paid,
I believe that was.
I will too, but I'm gonna
They're trying to
I
tax
have to.
you. They're trying to tax you.
I'm ready for it.
I'm
Just come.
I have to get, I've got doggies that are in a cage. You're good, it's a pleasure meeting you.
We have to work on.
I will. Yes, please do. I will be here in March tomorrow. I'm so sorry I can't be here in person. It is tearing me up.
I understand totally. I mean, this was such a
Hi.
shock to everybody.
And like I said, my anxiety, my disability, and all of that.
The melted ones?
My neighbor across the street.
How you doing?
I couldn't miss you. A video that you can share with us, the cocktail and how they reverse all this shit.
I hope so.
Greg, it was good seeing you. I'll give you a hug. I was around.
I'm not.
Okay. I'm not worried. God bless you.
Oh my
I'm gonna give you some apology. I'm not. I just
Yeah.
started.
We're
I
all
am
gonna run it.
tired
Like,
from my job because
do
I
you know what
didn't
the
take the
silver ball is? That they call
Hang in
it?
there, that's about it.
A lot of people don't know what it is.
So I didn't take the vaccine
It's
at 18, so
not,
I
it's
just got
taking
it.
off the
I'm a little,
And I
inside
more
and
tired.
Oh, I'm not telling you, that's why I didn't watch that.
And,
Really?
Not close enough relations, you know?
it's not funny.
I think if I begged him,
It's only gonna be one more season.
I don't know.
It's
just hard to do with
I
me,
did,
but,
and
you know.
I couldn't miss it, y'all looked so much alike, especially with these masks on. That's her.
my
Yeah,
dog.
right, the Book of Tribulation.
Danielle?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I heard lots
So
about
he
you.
didn't go into the 100,000
And
piece
this is
after
my
this.
oldest son.
Your oldest son, oh,
It's
nice to meet you.
I am a
Where's Joe?
I walked out on faith. I didn't have a job. I just like, I don't, I'm single. I'm like, I need my job, but I'm not willing to take.
They're
the risk
taking like
for it,
super
so.
precautions right now too because of the
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everybody you know, do not take it. It is.
You can probably tell me this is a nurse, and I heard that the way that the vaccines have been applied is something that could be part of some of the problems too.
Yeah, see his little design, his
That
top,
was
his vacuum.
If you ever
Yeah,
wondered,
that's his,
it's supposed to be shocking the muscle.
we called it the RG52 because of the way it.
That could be because they have everybody giving them. They're not even trying
Yeah.
people. When they offered, when they told us we had to take the vaccine, I went to every pharmacy in my neighborhood.
There's that leather jacket.
I went
I
to
said the
every-
same thing. I said exactly the same
I
thing.
asked for the package insert. Only one person could give me the package insert from the actual vials, and she brought it out. It was this thick.
He's at
So
school,
she
so-
unfolded it,
And
and
I'm
it was
working so
completely
much, I
white.
don't know how we get it
And
back.
I looked at her and I said, you know, I didn't know.
I look over there.
You do not know the time you're giving people the
I know, we
How
went
does that
to
make
see
you
him.
feel? And her face turned really red.
Saturday.
I said, I have one more
Who was his
for you,
game?
Nuremberg.
Yeah, to see him.
Nuremberg.
But I said, I'm not taking you back
because
because I'm not driving back.
All of you
Still
know,
tennis?
you have no idea.
Yeah,
And I've done my
she's doing okay on
research. I went in and I looked for all the
The
packages.
season's over, so thank
that?
God.
Oh,
And
is
it
it?
says if you've had
Yeah,
COVID,
for now.
Need it right now.
all the animals.
You play any other
Free.
sports? No. Oh, good. You got a break then?
No,
she finally got a job though.
2004.
Oh,
Yay!
I
And
can't believe it though, because the media is not talking about it.
Yes, it's a pretzel.
Oh, okay.
The guy that owns it is a friend from church.
Yeah. No, he's saying no. And COVID was patent. I found the patent when I had COVID.
Me and her YouTube that night, so.
Yeah, July 23rd, 2014. July 23rd.
Great.
Yeah.
They are the best friends.
They
I got all the lemonade you
believe
want.
like
That lemonade is so good.
Oh, yeah, he told me to eat whatever they
Jennifer
want.
Lopez,
At the
Jennifer
end,
Aniston,
I'm like,
They
don't
make
bring
it
you
us
so
up.
know,
I'm
George
like, everything
Clooney,
is
they'll
like-
believe any of what they
The
say.
pretzel bites
Oprah
and
or
the
Ellen.
cheese.
The cinnamon ones are my favorite.
You gotta get the
When we were
icing.
doing the
Yeah.
podcast, media came up to me, 3 of them came up to me and
But
I eat like
you can't do it.
you guys.
It'd be like eating Roadhouse
If it
rolls
wasn't for you
without
guys, we
cinnamon
wouldn't
butter.
eat.
So tired of all those rolls.
You see where,
Like it's all.
released a document that had read it and pulled it back.
Yeah, she knows how like it is.
They've been, this has all been profit, like, they've been, like, we lost World War II. The Germans came here through
When I get upset.
the Vatican. The Vatican gave them all their identity. They all came
Oh,
here.
that reminds me, I gotta bring you.
George Bush was a Nazi soldier, came in and was an apprentice under Nikola Tesla.
It's getting there.
Well,
Yeah. John
Our
Brown was supposed to be
our poor
General Parton's
client.
son.
That would be fine.
That he had, that got put up for adoption
She
when they
won't.
murdered Patton. I think we're gonna find out about it.
She's a big.
I can't wait.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
more
looking forward to it,
Yeah.
but I think
But
we gotta go through some.
she's got that perfect.
It's gonna be a rough.
She's gonna be mad at you.
Oh, she's already mad at me.
Because you made her stay outside.
I threw her outside and she just looked at me, she's like, really? Really? No, I had to
I
drive
have
her
one,
outside by the
the
hall.
attorney that I hired for my lawful termination hired me.
Rocky.
But she barks
And
when she
the,
wants to
for the
go.
class action suit. He's
Rock-
like,
her name is
"Amy, I'll
Rocky.
hire you."
Rocky?
She's so bossy. She's the boss.
Well, I was around Kenny, I really like her, I don't wanna get into
Australian Shepherd Blue Heeler.
somebody else, but,
And that girl, she's
yeah,
a treasure.
so
And
she gave
she's
me a job, I
bossy.
was like, are
I
you
should go out there
kidding me?
and
She's
she
like,
will literally stand there
I'm like,
really?
And
I
I
was
was
like
like,
doing laundry or something. Give me it. He's like, I want you to catch a couple weeks.
Is
Stand there.
there any?
And I'm like, okay,
Sounds
this
like
is
a
over.
photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cat.
But yeah,
Or
so,
She's
well,
such a good
the
dog.
federal
We don't even
judge
have the fence.
denied our
She doesn't
injunction
go past
for
the fence.
mandate because they said that St. Elizabeth and the hospitals are a private organization and they could make it
Driveway
work.
back to the house.
She will need to.
So,
knows about how.
but we are
And
fighting
he
it
doesn't-
on more of
If I
a,
come over to driveway,
they're trying to figure out.
Oh,
a way
she's
out.
gone.
The only thing is
It's
that you
over.
have the CDC, the
She
FDA,
doesn't
the
talk to her.
NIH, you have all the government organizations that are
Yeah,
corrupt
she doesn't
that
get
are
a
backing
tail
up.
We
So,
had a big
and I think our government,
And she'll go,
I think,
like, house, three houses, one way.
no, I have a huge class action.
But there's like dogs that she
A
goes,
huge class
they
action.
litter, they.
So we'll see
So
what
she,
she,
yeah.
I think I've got to
But
pursue
she
what they were
won't
doing. They
go
were
to
adding
the
charges that they don't.
So you have a
there's
lot of
nothing.
land there.
There's nothing.
No, we don't.
So
We
we
only
got
have just about
$15,000.
That's a lot.
We
That's
have
for payment for
We
your
have about,
ERG, for your
like,
diagnosis. So if you came in
8
with
houses in a little stretch.
and your charges were, your true
But
charges were
it's,
$50,000.
I mean, it's building up.
You could go up to 30,000 to get the maximum reimbursement.
We're
We
still
were adding
lucky to be out in
$15,000
the
to your
country. We used to live in Florida.
to make, but they said it's okay because if it was $45,000,
Busy.
we should take off $15,000 for those
I'm
people.
so used to it by now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, socialized medicine
Texas Roadhouse.
Okay.
is what they're doing. And they're like, it's fine. And
Yeah,
I'm
I've
like, no,
got
it's
some
not.
girlfriends that
That was when I lost respect for St.
With the job, like they're part-time, they
And
make
I,
like $300 a day.
okay.
And I'm like,
All year, it's just, you're watching it, it's like, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. And when they make you mad, then you talk.
oh, it was so nice.
You know?
I'm sorry, I'm really.
Make some of them mad, they'll talk.
That was,
So, I'm like, I work from home, I had COVID, why
yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, what are you trying to, what are you saying?
Did you get a
I
I gotta go.
It felt like
Yeah.
a dream. I'm like,
So I got home from work and she was like, I gotta text you. I was like, you alright?
Yeah, I'm sorry about
The
that.
spray, the flowers
I
on
literally
top.
stood there like this, I was like,
I guess.
No, actually, but I will. Matter of fact, I'll just do all the.
I'll give you guys, I'll give you guys a call. Take care. I gotta go now.
Thank you for coming. Everybody's here.
Well, Kimmy, Katie, you might want to walk in there. And they really don't want me to hear that.
Paul asked if I get these for him. More than happy to.
Robert, did you?
we're getting another. Let's go right now.
Uncle Ken. I mean,
Because he shared the birthday with me.
yeah, man. Awesome. My grand.
And actually, my grandma's grandpa, my grandma's dad, I think I called him. I know his birthday.
Oh, yeah, I called you before.
And then they always had
Yeah, this is my local sister.
Dad. Bob.
Grateful she has, right?
I think what is that? You niece, though, she's the same age as Joe. Yeah. That's
Hi, welcome to the
why
family.
We were talking about that earlier.
So you're not the youngest anymore?
Yay!
Sorry, I had to.
They had a great big,
They were both May 10th, so that's
fireworks.
May 10th.
Yeah.
And they knew
And where the apples, the apple, all this.
on his birthday.
Yeah, some peaches, but most of them get by the critters.
Probably deer.
Our raccoon
Yeah,
friends.
raccoon.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a trail cam that's out there, and literally like this fat raccoon. I'm telling you, like this one raccoon was this big,
We had like 6 raccoons one night, a bunny rabbit,
and they just lived
and a
there.
possum.
Last year we had 7 coyotes.
Oh, goodness.
Now, would you?
Yeah, that's all right. I don't care about that.
I didn't say it was good.
I'll come take care of it.
Things are working out real good here. And this gentleman here is a godsend.
Yeah.
He's my
Because
I think it's a replacement year, is it?
No, they took
well, that's where.
Muscle
Ellie
this
was
part
having
of
a-
it.
When they were in
Nice.
school. That's where, yeah, she's on
I was wondering why those crumbs and stuff were in their drawers.
Yeah, they told me I was supposed to be off work for 6 months, and I was like, no, we're not doing that.
She was.
Well, you can read it.
I did it before and after. Well, then I stopped.
Shall reach out to you?
So now I just do it.
She talked, she tried to talk on the thing.
I don't see Forrest, girl. I haven't seen hardly anything you did the last year.
What is either in the house?
I see her reading late at night. She told me about.
She's always watching something. She loves anime.
Oh, that's right. She loves anime too.
Yeah.
She leaves it on all night.
No,
She leaves it on all night.
well, Kathy said the lights on, so.
Plus it is.
Now,
I'm watching your house a lot.
And then it's funny because I go in her room and her blinds are up, and I'm like, there a boy coming up to this window.
I like to look outside.
So I need to get him a lot of
I
I might stumble in the dark, but I'm gonna get in there. I don't think she would. But she's I am. Yeah, we've got something. Yeah.
Take care and I'll get call me occasionally. Yep.
I will.
See you later. I might be calling you occasionally.
That's fine. Debbie, it was great seeing you guys.
Great to see you. Take care. We'll be
Greg,
praying
it was
for
good
your daughter.
seeing you. Take care of yourself. What's your website that I can watch tomorrow? You'll be able to watch tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Is it live or is it post?
No, the conversation is with the friendship that we have.
Okay. Oh, you got your own website.
You're fulfilled as human beings.
Awesome. I'll see you later.
Because if when we get older, we're gonna have people that come and help us.
I know.
This is my night shift.
That's true.
Yeah.
So now I do have a trial if I want you to get some.
Okay. Yeah, so I need to dig those up before it gets cold down there.
No, no, the one that you gave me. Not Guadalupe.
This is a fun
Peonies.
time.
Peonies.
No, the one that was, the Easter lilies, the red lilies.
Yeah.
Okay. You gave me lilies, and anyway, they turned up red.
That
Even
matters.
Ed's turned out red.
Right.
Okay.
The white ones will eventually come back as a different, whatever rootstock they were grafted.
Okay. Yeah, so you gave me those.
Yeah, you still have a little pop.
Okay.
Dig them up, yeah.
Before it
no,
gets.
Greg, I'm not rushing to speak there, but I gotta speak from the
If you
heart.
want.
No, she won't come.
Okay.
Made mistakes or disagreements.
I'm
Apologies.
not even.
For Christmas, when you're out of the house,
I need to get out of the house.
you did.
Intentionally. love you guys.
Sir Robert, that
You and
like
your
the
dad.
LNA?
Oh,
Or no?
yeah.
I got about time to
Yeah. Robert.
close down business.
That's her.
I respect
all
their
day,
time.
every day. Horse can actually draw
They've
too.
been,
Yeah, I know it.
I give a smiley face to
Yeah,
this
I don't
funeral
know if you ever
director.
used this, is it? Yeah.
They worked with us.
Yeah, he just couldn't take it with him, but he uses
We've
it.
made
Yeah, I
adjustments
said I
on
would
the
see
way.
those to draw.
I'm so responsive,
I know.
helpful.
And both my boys do.
What else can I say?
That's why they both
I gotta
got
go
it
little
from
boys.
Josh, and that kind of is.
Oh, is it down there?
Successful.
Thank you.
Do you draw?
No.
He didn't get that, Jay.
No,
What do you
You didn't get
do?
that talent.
I work at Ford,
Oh, okay.
He
Kentucky
put you
Truck.
first here.
Yeah. Hey.
Been there for 20, almost 27 years.
Wow. Oh, big baller.
3 more to go. 3 more to go and I'm out.
You're out. Good.
Where you did it?
Huh?
Where you
Work
did
at
it?
Lego.
I'm gonna be a beach, I'm gonna be a beach bum.
You go
Oh, good, we're going to Florida. Got it, thanks.
With his brother?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm moving to St. Pete.
Oh. Well, we won't go to.
Did you see the dirty look that I got?
Yeah.
I want to do this.
Okay. I'm fine. This is so pretty. So pretty.
That was with Herman's game.
Yeah? Oh my God.
This was his baby. That was his first his line.
Yeah.
That's his R2D2.
R2D2.
Uh-huh. And Debbie made a story with it.
I love that.
Is it Robert? Uh-huh. Oh, my God, that whole house. It's in your house. Oh, wow.
That's what we're doing today. All right.
What do you do?
I said, what do you want to eat? I said, it's particular.
I got one at home where it was, Joe's 2 months, a couple months old. And, Robert put him on the television. Yeah.
I made this. That was the little teddy bear. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, that's your
He's
old
not
one.
gonna use your services. He's our funeral. Hopefully not in the near future.
Do you have any parting words before I turn this off?
Well, I'm just so thankful for those who were here, that those who listened to Robert's little session here, seeing his accomplishments and pictures. And it's a shame that due to the situation with he and Kathy, again with him being embalmed, there's no problem there with him. Kathy again testing positive 2 days running. She was the last one to see him alive. She went down there and tried to do what a good mommy could, but Robert limited contact. So I'm not trying to criticize, but I do want to thank everyone for listening in, for Greg for doing this video for us, and I'm just in total shock. The tears haven't hit yet, but they will. It's a subdued reaction I've always had. And I love my little guy dearly. And he loved all his family and friends. So thank you, everybody.
All right, my brothers, so we'll be back here tomorrow at noon.
Tomorrow at noon.
Tomorrow at noon, and for those watching live, you can watch it in the same place.
Same place?
Same place, and then we'll also do the graveside at afterwards
St.
at
Peter's,
2 p.m.
And again, we have to travel in separate vehicles down there. But,
Correct, no procession then.
yeah,
Right.
no procession on the interstate. There's nuts out there.
It's a long drive too. So.
Well, these papers I just got from the funeral. I'm putting them in. I call that my purse over there.
There you go.
It carries like a briefcase. It carries my current activities.
All right.
And I'm not a perfect record keeper, but today
Well, you know none of us are perfect, right? So bless God they sent Jesus
there's
to be
one
the
man
perfect.
up there who is perfectly born. Our Savior Jesus is leading me through this. under his Father's guidance, Almighty God.
Amen.
And of course, we cannot forget the third person of the Trinity, the Holy Spirit. They were firm traditions in our family and in Robert's upbringing. So I have faith that if anyone did not have a problem, he might have a little bit of makeup time, but still we all do. Can I say that fairly?
Amen, brother. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.
All right, we hope this was a blessing to those who couldn't be here in person. We'll be on these same live channels. We'll be doing tomorrow at noon, followed by 2 p.m. graveside. So be blessed. Know that Robert was a blessing, and rejoice that we will see him again in eternal paradise. Have a great evening.